Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be talking about the free money and gold bars arriving in Red Dead Online, and what you should spend your newfound cash on, if you should even spend it at all. So, Rockstar actually announced on their Newswire post the other day that they were going to be giving out some free money and gold bars to players that played the beta anytime from the start of it until midnight Pacific Standard Time on Thursday, December 6th. So hopefully you guys logged in by then, because if not, you missed out on an amazing opportunity to get some easy money and gold bars. And Rockstar stated that gifts should start arriving between today and also between Friday, December 14th. So kind of a big gap right there, basically 1 week. But it looks like this has started to arrive earlier for most players, including myself. So I actually logged on last night and I got 2 alert messages. This first alert message was, alert, you have been gifted 15 gold bars from Rockstar. So that's obviously tremendous. And then the next alert was, alert, you have been gifted RDO $250 from Rockstar. So that's great news right there. And I'm sure a lot of you guys will be starting to see this now, if not already, or within the next couple of days or over the weekend. And this was awesome. When I saw this alert message, I was like, yes, finally, this is great news. I'm really excited about this. And when I logged in, you can see I have 18.62 golden bars, which is a ton. That's the most I've ever had, obviously. And then I have a little under $1,200. Now, another thing that Rockstar has promised is that they will be automatically refunding the difference if players purchased items that are now cheaper. That has not happened for me, because I know there's a handful of items that I bought, like the Lancaster repeater and the bolt action rifle, that are now way cheaper, and I have not received that money. But remember, refunds may take until December 10th to reach all players. So once again, do not fret if you feel like you have not received that. So now that you have your money, just like me, and now that you have your gold bars, what should you spend your money on? Well, I've got some recommendations for you guys in this video today. So the first thing I would recommend doing, if you're going to be doing anything, especially with the accumulation of gold bars, is buy yourself a new outfit. So for the most part, and I think Rockstar is eventually going to lean in this direction as some of the changes we've seen, that the gold bars are going to be for cosmetic items only. They're not 100% yet, but it looks like we're getting there. So what you should do is buy some items that can only be funded with gold bars only. So go to the nearest general store or the tailor and get yourself an item of clothing that might not be available to you yet unless you have those gold bars. Like if you want this funky, worn stovepipe top hat to look absolutely ridiculous, you can get that for 4 golden bars. Or if you want to get something a little bit classier, you can get yourself a jacket or a duster coat or anything like that. Long story short, there's a lot of clothing items in game that you can only buy if you have gold bars. And with your accumulation of 15 new ones at a minimum, and keep in mind that doesn't include all the other gold bars you already have, which could easily be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, I don't know how many treasure hunts you guys have done. You can actually buy some pretty cool stuff. So go to the clothing store, check out some of the items you may not have had access to previously, and now you do because you have this nice accumulation of gold. Another thing you could do is go to the haircut place. The haircut place will allow you to change 3 things: your hair, facial hair, and dentistry. And all 3 of these categories have items that can only be bought with gold. Like if you want a full set of teeth, gotta get gold. If you want no teeth in your mouth, you have to use gold. So there's lots of little things that you can go for here. Sort of building off of that, I know this is sort of obvious, but for an item that's like $16 or $17, do not use gold to buy something that's like $16 or $17. That is a waste of your gold bar. In my opinion, you should only use gold to buy something if something's at like a higher rank and you want to buy it now. So for example, like the river lure or the lake lure for fishing. That doesn't unlock until like 32, but you can use a gold bar to get it. That's when I would say it's worth it, but other instances like this, I really don't think it is. But as you guys can see here, there's some really cool like haircut options. There's some really cool beard options that you can get, some only with gold. So this might be a newfound opportunity to change up your character's look. in the haircut barbershop. The next thing you can do, although I feel like this is absolutely ridiculous, is change the color of your gun. So as it stands right now, changing the metal on your gun is something that can only be done with gold bars. And it gets ridiculously expensive the more items you change. So let's say you wanted to make this entire gun gold. Well, to change the barrel, that alone is 5 gold bars. Now that's pretty steep right there. What if you wanted to change the frame? That's 7 gold bars if you wanted to change that. What about the hammer of the gun? What if you wanted to change that? 12 gold bars just to change the hammer. That is insane. It gets worse. The lever is 17 gold bars. Like, even if you had no gold bars, you couldn't afford to make the hammer of this gun gold with what Rockstar just gave us. Like, that is ridiculous to me. It gets even worse. The sight is 22 gold bars if you want to make it gold, but we're not done yet. The trigger is 27 gold bars if you want to fully change it. That is one of the things that I still feel is very overpriced. Like, to change one little piece of a gun is 27 gold bars. So Rockstar made some steps in the right direction, but they definitely still have a long way to go, in my personal opinion, because 27 gold bars, that's like, you know, a couple horses right there in some instances. So that's just something to think about, that you can upgrade these guns, but I wouldn't, because I can almost guarantee you that their prices will be adjusted going forward in the future. So it's something you might want to end up saving up for, or just waiting out until the prices ultimately become cheaper. Now, speaking of something you can buy, but again, I'm hoping they become cheaper as well, horses. There are some horses in game that can only be bought with gold bars. And this is another instance where I think Rockstar will eventually move away from having horses being gold bars, because these are not cosmetic. Like, horses are the equivalent of like cars in GTA. They're useful items for traversing the world, just way more than cosmetic stuff. Now, a lot of these are probably still going to be locked behind rank, but I've seen some really high-ranked people, and in some instances, horses can only be purchased via gold. So this might be a perfect opportunity to grab yourself a new horse that you might not have been able to get before. Now, again, I think Rockstar will eventually change this, because I don't like the idea of horses being locked behind gold where others are not. Especially when it gives a clear competitive advantage in free roam and races. So we really just will have to wait and see. Now, if you don't want to get a new horse, you could always upgrade your current horse. There are some things that can only be done with gold bars. So for example, if you wanted to get braids on your horse, well, that would cost a gold bar. Same if you wanted to braid the tail, that would cost a gold bar as well. So again, there's only some things you can do with the gold in game. Now, one change you could do with your newfound money is you could buy horse insurance. Rockstar actually changed horse insurance from gold bars to $125, or I think it will depend on the quality of your horse, but for mine it's $125. So that's another change that they ended up making right there. Something else you could end up doing is upgrading your camp. So there's a couple of upgrades you can do at camp. I don't really recommend it because they're not all that great. But if you want to change the theme to something like the hobo life or military surplus or traveling opulence, you totally can with gold bars. If you wanted to change Crip's outfit, you totally could too. There's a couple of outfits where you can only pay gold bars. I think this would be the biggest waste of all time, but suit yourself if that's something you want to end up doing. You could also go to the fence and buy some very expensive items like pamphlets for creating some of the best items in the game. So I've only unlocked 2 of them right now, and they're both very expensive. So I feel like this is something Rockstar will need to adjust even more, even though this is something I think they ended up adjusting a little bit. Like this horse ointment pamphlet is $500. That's crazy expensive. This snake oil pamphlet is $560. So if you want to buy them, you can. It's very expensive. I honestly would not recommend it. Even if you utilize gold bars, like it's still ridiculously expensive. But if you have the cash and you want to create something like that, it might end up being worth it, but I think that those pamphlets will again be dropped in price because some of those pamphlets are more expensive than weapons, and that seems a little bit crazy to me. Another thing you could do with your newfound money is upgrade your ability cards. So this is something you guys need to be paying attention to. Your ability cards have upgrades, and the first upgrade for each one is $350. Now, while you only got $250 from this bonus from Rockstar, that still puts you well over halfway there. And if you have other money, you should be able to easily achieve this. So upgrade those ability cards. We've talked about in previous videos how much worth it they are to have and having the specific ones. So upgrading those is something I highly recommend you ultimately do. And last but not least today, this is probably an option that makes sense for a ton of people, and that is just saving it. You know, there's no banking game where you can just put your gold away and put your cash away, but just don't spend your money on things immediately. Just because you get money doesn't mean you have to spend it on anything. Rockstar has made it very clear that there's going to be a lot of new content coming to Red Dead Online, and there might be something that they haven't added into the game yet that you're more interested in than what's available right now. So just save it, and when the time comes, you'll easily be able to afford that new content. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating on this video. That'd be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.